Coaching is rooted in change. It's about how to facilitate change with an individual. The ADKAR change model is a framework for understanding change at the individual level, and as such, it's an important coaching tool. The ADKAR model has 5 elements or objectives, each working like a stepping stone building on the previous step. All 5 elements must be in place for change to be realized. Therefore, it's important that a coach understands how to build awareness, create desire, develop knowledge, foster ability, and reinforce change. Let's talk about the second step, creating desire. Ultimately, desire is a personal choice. An effective coach does not dictate their decisions to those they coach. Instead, they influence them. It's a trap for a manager to think that by the nature of their position power, they can force people to do things. That type of forced change is just an illusion. Real performance improvement comes from the willingness and desire within the employee. So there are several things a coach can do to create desire. First, participate in the change process with those you coach. Too often, coaches have a single conversation with the person they are coaching about a certain topic and need and feel that their job is done. A coach cannot build momentum and support for change with only one conversation. Not being engaged over time with the coachee will likely increase resistance on their part. So ongoing discussions and follow-up emphasize the importance of the topic and need over the long haul. Second, communicate impact. Unless a coachee has made an assessment in their own mind about the costs and the benefits of changing, real change will not occur. For this reason, the coach should try more vigorously to encourage self-evaluation by the coachee in order to discover and understand the impact of their current behavior. Remember, as a coach, you cannot impose pressure on the person you're coaching, but you can generate a little bit more internal pressure for the coachee to contemplate the impact of his or her behavior. Third, identify barriers to change. Often resistance to change is not about the change itself, but how the change will impact the coachee. Because of this, ask the person you are coaching what specific objections or concerns they have about the change. Fourth, stop talking and listen. Sometimes coaches feel that their job is to persuade the coachee to change. And when that doesn't work, they resort to threats. So remember, in many cases, coachees just want to be heard. So let them voice their opinions, and that reduces resistance. Fifth, remove obstacles. What appears to be resistance to change may be barriers or obstacles that the coachee just can't see around. Clearly identify these obstacles and determine ways to address them, or brainstorm solutions to each one of them with the coachee. This helps them to see around the barrier and realize that they can overcome it. Sixth, provide clear choices or consequences. To improve success, coaches can facilitate choices that should be included in the change and explore in very simple terms the impact of each of their choices may have on the final outcome. Seventh, hold coachees accountable. Ultimately, they must be held accountable for results, not the coach. Otherwise, real change will not occur. Eighth, anticipate resistance by having coachees identify potential obstacles and barriers during the planning phase. By addressing these ahead of time, resistance can sometimes be avoided. Lastly, engage the coachee in the change process. The more that they participate in the process, the greater their desire will be to support the change. Engagement transfers ownership from the coach to the coachee. Keeping these coaching tips in mind will help you create desire in the hearts and the minds of those you coach in order to create and implement plans that will lead to better results.